Should you move to London in 2021? I actually have an answer for this. I am very indecisive, so the fact that I came up with a yes or no answer, I am very proud of myself. London has loads of amazing things that are great about it. You know, the history, the food, the culture, traveling, all of that. I'm not going to focus on that in this video. I'm going to focus on the things that are specific to this weird ass year. You should already know London is awesome. You can Google why that is. This is a video about whether 2021 is a good year for you to move to London. Oh, and remember to like and subscribe. I've made like 30 videos and I always forget to do that. So I'm feeling very professional right now. Number one, will they let you into the country? This is a big one. Visa situations in the UK are more complicated than ever. Most people I know who live in London have British citizenship, have an ancestry visa because their parents or grandparents were from the UK. They are European, or for some people, their work sponsored them. If you are European, as of January 1st, 2021, freedom of movement ended. So if you're European, it's not the best time to move. Could you have moved 6 months ago? Now Europeans are in the same boat as the rest of the world, which is you kind of need to have someone sponsor you, a job. The job has to have certain income barriers, so it has to be a pretty well-paying job. If you're under 30, if you're so young, you can get a youth mobility visa. It's like a working holiday visa from one of these countries. I don't know which side I'll put it on. Here's what I will say about this. If you're only planning to come for a short amount of time, then I would say this isn't the best time to move. Because the first year I lived in London, I traveled to 20 different countries. Now that's a little extreme. Even I was kind of sick of traveling by the end of it, but it's not that out of the ordinary. People go crazy when they first move to London, especially if you're North American or something. And if traveling is important to you and one of the reasons that you are planning on moving to London, it's not looking like 2021 is going to be a stellar year for travel, and there's probably still going to be a lot of restrictions. So if that is important to you, I would say try and put it off until next year and see what it is. Unless you're pushing 30 and then still come on that youth mobility visa and travel the UK, and hopefully in June we're all free. Number two, can you get a job? Okay, I gotta readjust for this. This is so important. I have to adjust my seating. This is probably the most important factor for me right now. If your company is sponsoring you, like you're moving over with an existing company, or you have a job already lined up, that is awesome. Great. Move to London. Perfect. If you don't, the UK economy might not have been hit as hard as other countries, but it's still not great. Loads of people are still unemployed. The job market in the UK overall and in London is going to be really tough for the next year, or I don't know how long. So before you move to London, I would say kind of make sure you have a job that lined up or something that you're pretty certain about, because it's gonna be slim pickings unless you have some super niche skill that you are confident you can get a job. Like if you are a virologist, this is your time. Move to the UK, move to London, come on over. If you're anything else, just be really careful. I'm an accountant, so my risk tolerance is very low, but I would just be super careful about moving to London without a job lined up or feeling pretty certain about that. Numero three. No, that was awful. I shouldn't have tried that. Number three, can you find somewhere to live? Yes, yes, yes. This might be one of the best reasons to move to London right now. There are a lot of good housing options. The newspapers keep talking about all the people who have left London because they can, live in other countries and work, or moving to the countryside to breathe fresh air or whatever lame. Either way, lots of people are actually leaving London, so there are good housing options on the market. If you are balling hard and want to live in central London, zone 1, prices have apparently fallen by 30%. Now, I don't live in zone 1 and I just was looking for a flat and I didn't find that they dropped that much, but they're probably cheaper or softer than usual. If you don't mind not having an outdoor space, you can get some good deals. Either way, there's a lot on the market and you should be able to find something pretty easily. Also, if you are willing to sublet, like rent short term from someone for a few months, so many people are trying to do that right now. You should have no problem. Number 4, it's number 4, right? Yeah. Number 4, do you like, okay, I've written something down. Do you like biological preparations that provide acquired immunity from particular infectious diseases, aka vaccines? Do you like vaccines? If you move to the UK and you're lawfully living here, you should have access to the NHS. Sometimes your company might have to pay for it or you have to pay for it. But the NHS is doing a pretty amazing job of vaccinating the British population. So if you move here, if you haven't already been vaccinated wherever you're from, you should be able to get one here, I think. So that's a pretty good reason. I mean, everyone wants a vaccine. You can just like know that your chances of getting COVID are lower or closer to be able to like licking random people's faces on the streets. Don't do that in Britain. Don't do that. Anyways, vaccines. Yes. Number 6, making friends. Will you still be able to make friends in London in 2021? So, making friends when you move to a new city is always difficult, and London is no different. I really should make a video on how I made friends when I moved to London, because even I love talking to people and I found it pretty tricky. I don't think 2021 will be that much more difficult than any other year, and here's why. One, things are starting to open up. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for like friend dates and running into people. 2, and here's a 2021 specific reason, is that lots of people have left London, as I mentioned. So people are going to be looking for new friends. I've had a few friends have to leave the city, and so now I have more time for new people. I need to fill up my free time. So people are going to be more open to finding friends if they've had people who've left the city. It will be more difficult to make friends with your colleagues though, because you're probably not going to be in the office as much. So if one of the ways you were going to meet new people was at work, that might be trickier. However, Hassan and Gary, 2 of my best friends, moved to London in March 2020, so like the worst time, and they still became friends with their co-workers. Just maybe took a little bit more effort, but you can still 100% do it. And also, at the end of the day, the entire country is going to be in a good mood because we've finally been let free and people are getting vaccinated and the summer's coming. So if you move now, it's a pretty good time. Everyone should be in a really good mood, more likely to make friends. Okay, conclusion. I promised that I would actually give you an answer, but I've been living in London for 3 years, so I need to have a sip of tea, restorative tea, before I give you an answer. I drop tea everywhere. Ugh. Okay. Conclusion. Should you move to London in 2021? I promise an answer, and I still have tea on me. I actually have one. Yes. I mean, it should be obvious from what I said. 2021 is still as good a time as any, kind of, to move to London, as long as you have a job and you're not an anti-vaxxer. If you aren't sure about whether you're going to find work, just be really careful. But if you kind of know what you're going to do for money, then move. Even if you're obsessed with travel, for the next few months you can travel in the UK, and then hopefully by the end of the year start traveling outside the UK. It's still a great time. London is the best city ever. I have never regretted moving here. I've always loved it. It is amazing, and you should come join. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you are planning to move to London, what is making you want to move, what is stopping you if you haven't moved, and oh, remember to like and subscribe if you got all the way through the video. Thank you for watching.